Pit stop. Pit stop. That's already making her happy. She was thirsty. She was thirsty. Gallon of water. Already making her. Oh, hi. So, we got a new toy. Well, a tool. This isn't a toy. This is a tool. Listen, heavy equipment is not a toy. Not something you play around with. It is a tool. It's used for a purpose. I'll tell you, I've been wanting one of these for a long time. Is this leaking water? Are you peeing, Guido? Are you peeing? European? So we got a deal on this thing. I've been keeping my eye out on forklifts, just keeping my peepers locked on them. Because between a forklift or a skid steer, which I think a forklift for what the crap we have around here is a lot more useful. But snagged this thing yesterday for a good deal. The guy was really cool dude. And he's like, I got this part that's supposed to fix it, but I've been too lazy to put it on. So if I put it on this weekend, it's going to be like 3 times more for the forklift. If you wanted to buy it today, I'm like, I'll take the risk. The guy delivered it, brought it over to us, and I didn't get a lot of video of that. I got a little short video of the guy at the trailer. That's about it. We threw a battery in it, and actually put a jumper box on it, and it, after swapping out the little Chingus valve, I don't know, and it fired up. So then went and snagged battery, put it in here, and it wouldn't start again. I mean, it was kind of crazy. Before the guy even left and had the trailer down, like the tilt trailer wasn't even all the way down, and Joey had this thing fired up and running. The guy was like, really? And I was like, yeah, that's the magic fingers of Joey. And put the new battery in, and it would not start. It just cranked and cranked and cranked and cranked. So then I thought to myself, oh, does it have spark? It has spark. So I thought, well, what's happening? So we sprayed some ether, no go. I pulled the carburetor off, and I wish I would have been filming. I should have caught all this, because I pulled the carburetor, or mixer, they call it, mixer, because it's propane. Shot some ether down in the yap, and it fired off. So we kept it running for a second and found out that there's something going on with the mixer, propane carburetor, that wasn't working right. So I cleaned it all out. But as we had it running and it shut off, a fireball came out of the intake, and it just sat there like the eternal flame. It was just like this big fire, and underneath this thing's, I don't know if it's fire retardant or not underneath this, but it's a bit of an emergency situation of making sure we had the propane shut off. And so we weren't going to have a giant like A-bomb in our backyard. So we, Joey had to go home. I played around with it a little bit more, cleaned out the mixer, just, backyard, rebuilt it, and it fired up and it idled. And then now it's been sitting here kind of going, rah, rah, rah. Can't figure out why, but I figured it's probably just cleaning out some of the jets. I don't know. I don't know propane systems. I know gasoline and diesel systems. So I think it was cleaning out some of that. I just checked the radiator and it was bone dry. I'm talking bone dry, so just put some liquid in it, and all of a sudden the idle smoothed out. So this thing's got all the electronics. It's 2010. I'll tell you this, don't hit that lever. Don't hit that one. I tried that. I had it in the shop and I hit that, and it all over my gun safes. Just, I'm talking, made a mess. But found out that the hose is completely broken, so we're gonna run up and get a hose built real quick and slam it on here. But for what we paid for this thing, she's not the most beautiful thing on the planet, but she's functional, and she's running good. It's got a forklift inflator. I don't know, this might be one of those breathing systems. It doesn't do anything. It's not inflating anything. I don't know what it inflates on a forklift. These are hard tires. What does it inflate? But I ran around on the dirt a little bit last night. It fits in the shop. I don't know what else to tell you guys. It's all here. So we're going to play around with this. We're going to run up and go get a hose before they close. And we got to fix the horn. The beep beep no working. Sometimes it does. we got stuff to fix. We're gonna probably do oil change, sparkulators, drain the cooling system, just clean it up. The poor girl's been neglected for a while, so we're gonna clean it up and make it ours. But one of the most important things you'll find, one of the best features on this entire forklift that you're gonna find, one of the most amazing features, and if you don't have this on yours, I'm sorry. I don't even think it's a factory upgrade. I think it's some aftermarket, like, genius upgrade. Right there, a giant cup holder. That'll hold all your wobble pops and all your snacks and everything. Thank you, Derek, of Ice Cream Garage, for that wobble pop one. I like that. I stole it from you. But yeah, it'll hold some drinks or an ashtray or whatever you're into. I don't know. Maybe you like carrots and you want to fill it up with carrots. I don't know. But it's there. And it works. So I can stand here and yap all day, but I'm not going to. We're going to run up and go have a hose made for this thing real quick, and then come back and see if we can't fix it so it's not all over the place anymore. And we can use it. We can move stuff. We can play with things. I don't know. Maybe just pick up a car for fun. Why not? So we'll catch you back here in a minute once we got the new hose and we're slamming her together. Very nice. Very nice. Well, I don't know if we showed you earlier, but we found the problem. I found your problem. We're remedying that situation. The reason why we lost so much fluid and it was shooting everywhere. She broken. She gone. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's what it looked like. So, well, we were already having some issues anyways too. We got a little rubbish going on there. So, that guy, junk. This guy, going on. Hose power came through, ran up there real quick, and they blasted a hose together for us. Come with these cute little caps on them. Can't put it on with the caps on. Just saying. Doesn't work that way. Luckily, it's only for the side shift, but the problem is that when a guy like me is playing around with a guy like this, which we're gonna probably name Guido. I don't know if I said that earlier. I'm gonna name this forklift Guido. Side note, there's my ADHD kicking in for you. Why Guido? Well, because we watch a lot of Cars with the kids. The little boys that we watch, they love cars, and so Guido is the little European forklift guy on Cars, and so that's gonna get his name. Beat stop. Beat stop. So we're gonna put the hose on, and that way when an intelligent human being like myself grabs the wrong lever, it doesn't shoot fluid everywhere because it's for the side shift. You don't really use that a ton, but it'd be nice to center the forks, and can't do that when you got a leaky tiki. So we'll throw this guy on, try and get my fat fingers in there and get super greasy, and well, see if that helps anything, you know? I just don't know. I'll put the seat in gangster mode and figure out some looping on this thing. It probably wouldn't hurt to put a little shield on this because I can see already where it's going to rub right up on here. But we'll at least get it on there. It'll take a while. It'll take a while. It'll take a while for it to rub through. It'll take a while for it to rub through. So we'll at least get her, as my wife would say, functionable. Not a word, but it is to my wife. So therefore, it's a word. Okay? When the wife says it's a word, it's a word. I'm just saying. Don't argue with her. That gets you in trouble. Arguing with the wife is not a good thing, my friends. So all you gotta do is just stab it on there. Find a spot to kind of tuck it in here, maybe. I don't know. Find a way to get it on here so it's out of the way. And then stab it onto this one. And then I guess you gotta thread them. So that's what they tell me. And that way, they don't come off. Well, I mean, come on. I can't see what I'm doing here. See if I can smack my head on something. I'm good at that. Go brain dead. Sometimes the long fingers work. Sometimes they get in the way. Sometimes they help. Right now, they seem to be helping. I had a rag out here, but I don't know what I did with it. And it's a different size than the ones we took off. But I know what size it is. I do. I really do. know what size it is. It's a 3/4. Now the cool thing about when you're putting hydraulic hoses on is before you tighten them, you can kind of position the hose by just twisting it. So while the swivel's still loose, if you really want the hose to sit in a certain spot, like because it's going to be rubbing on something, you can usually kind of give a little twist to the hose and then tighten it down. Right now, I think we're actually in a really good position, so we're going to leave it right where it's at. But if I needed to, they have a memory to them almost. They've got a steel lining to them. So they like to kind of go in one way. And they kind of follow their own path, you know? And if you don't like that path, you just give it a twist and then tighten it down, and that'll lock it into that place. So if you have, especially a longer hose, you can loop it kind of out of the way by just twisting it, and it'll kind of like switch where it's going. But I don't know. I don't like that one's loose either. We'll fix that in a minute too. But let's just get this leak fixed first. That's the number one thing we got to do, is just fix the leaky tiki. Quit squirting everywhere, man. That's all I'm saying. Just keep something clean. The horn still doesn't work, Drew. Oh, well, that's loose. All right. You know, you get something new, man, you start finding all the stuff that's got to be done to it. Especially when you have the wrong size wrench. That's where the speed wrench comes in. We'll just use the old speedy wrench and see how much hydraulic fluid a guy can get on his arms while we're doing this. You know, I mean, I'm a little too excited there. Oh, yeah, perfect. That'll keep that guy from rotating. That guy is not rotating. That looks like we're good. I'll fire it up and test it out. See if we squirt juice everywhere. See if we fixed it. I'll lose the wrenches in there. That'll work. Have the radiator cap off. Got to turn fuel on. That usually helps. There you go. And let's see what she does. I think it was this one. Alright, that works. I figure why that's not, that's interesting. There's got to be a sensor that thinks this thing's centered. Or that's as far as it goes. Okay. Oh, that's what we get. That's the other one I got to figure out. It doesn't seem to want to go forward. I don't know if there's a lock on this. To be honest with you, I don't know a lot about forklifts. What I do know is it's not spraying fluid. That's what I like. I definitely like the idea that it's not spraying fluid everywhere. What I don't like the idea of is that it's not, it doesn't seem like it's centered. We'll figure that out. I'll play with it. You can still hear a little bit of a surging on this thing. That's okay. I don't know why, but we'll figure that out too. I just got it, okay? Bear with me here. Let's see. Oh. Okay. I see a lock over here. I think that's our culprit. Maybe? What if we shift that over one more? No? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. You guys know anything about forklifts? Working on them? Making them do what you need them to do? I don't. But I can tell you right now, that plate's not centered. I don't know why. But it can't be much different than everything else mechanical out there. It really can't be much different. It's got to be... Well, there's our problem. Right there. That's the guy causing all... No, it's not. I know you guys are probably looking at this going like, Brandon, it's just that right there. It's the dingleberry on the fluber bobbin. And all you got to do is just adjust it, and it'll go right where you want it to go. It's weird. The ram is all the way over. Like I said, I'm not a forklift guy. This is kind of a first for me to work on these things. So we'll figure out why. We'll get back to it and try to understand this thing a little bit more. But so far, I'm happy. I can't complain. There's all sorts of adapters for these things you can get, like dump buckets and everything. So we're going to play around with this a little bit more. Maybe look at putting a different set of lights up on the top of it there. And one of them obviously is not working. I don't think this one's going to do much for us. It's mostly not there. Why aren't you over? See, that sits there, and that sits there. Maybe that's where it's supposed to be. That doesn't seem right, though, does it? Seems like this plate should be centered on the Chingus. Wow. Avery Wadetronics. Is that a weight thing, I wonder? All this stuff that's been taken off? I bet you that's a scale. Dude.
Good point.
Wouldn't it be kind of cool if I found like the little bleep loop for that and plugged it in? Like the actual one that fits up there and it worked, and then we had a scale on this thing? That would be really cool. Well, I mean, useless. Like, oh, how much does that axle weigh? Like,
Too much.
yeah, way too much. But
Speaking of axles, you want to test out the forklift?
I did yesterday, but I could do it again.
But now you can move it side to side.
Now I can move it around. We can play with an axle. Look at that. Look at a red. Perfect. Couple new pieces, good things. We're gonna have to look that up. That's gonna have to be fixed. That's not right. But it looks like you can get just this piece. That's obviously not gonna connect to anything. But man, I was thinking about putting a 65-inch TV up there, but maybe we could have a scale instead. That might be a little bit more less distracting. Keep your entire body inside the forklift cage at all times. Well, what if I have to get out? That's a lame sign, all I'm saying. I don't know why. That's all the way that way. Most importantly, we don't have leaks. That's the most important thing. Huh. Well, this is just downright exciting. I mean, why do you have it if you're not going to do it? Surges at idle. Runs fine every other time. So let's say we wanted to put this over there. We could do that. Forklift stuff. It'd be nice if I had one more stage and then I could put this crap up on top of the storage container. That'd be kind of fun, but that's okay. Forklift stuff is happening. That's all that matters. Well, Drew, I think we got her. I think we got her licked and she's running. It's it'd be nice to have that fixed. It'd be nice to figure this out, why this won't tilt forward. We'll figure that out next. But let me play around with this thing for a little bit, and then maybe we'll show you some more fun stuff on it. I'm sure we'll be doing a lot of interesting things on this thing as it goes, so that's all that matters, right? We're gonna have some fun with it. But she's working. To go from a non-running forklift less than 24 hours ago, well, I mean, it didn't run for longer than that, but delivered here at the yard, to a fully operational, functional forklift with just a simple couple parts. I like it. I mean, listen to it. It's running good. It's not doing that anymore. It's shh. No, I was just talking nice about you. I was just saying how good you're doing. Don't start acting up now. We're doing good. We were doing good. There you go. Good job. See? Just gotta be Guido. We gotta work through it. It's sat for about a year, so I'm sure there's some filters and some little things I gotta change here and there and stuff to play with, but it's got Earl. It's got water.
Got a nice clicking noise in there somewhere. Got
a clicking noise for the ignition systems or something. It's got a dash that's, sort of there. But at least we get, easy access to all the stuff. This is clicking for some reason. I don't know why. But we can probably find some little buttons to push into those holes. We'll get it fixed. We just got it. Leave me alone for a minute. I'm telling you. We're going to figure it all out. I promise you. If not, then maybe hit a bump and the little dash piece falls on your leg. It's okay. It still goes. Still goes. That's fixed. That's all that matters. Went on the ground. Dang it. Alright guys, let me look at this a little bit more. We'll play around with it and we'll come back. Damn. Watch your shins, Drew! Watch your shins, because I'm not doing it. I'm not watching your shins, I'm watching mine. Another toy. The tool. Tire change, anybody? Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know if it'd pick it up. Well, I'll be son of a gun. That's kind of cool. We can do stuff. You change the fluid? We got it. Stuff's moving. It's okay. We're not keeping that truck. That's kind of cool. All right. Worth every penny. Like it. I like it. I like it. Let's put pieces back together. You still watching me? Jeez, I thought you guys were going away. Why are you still looking at me? Don't you have things to do? I mean, I do. I mean, you can watch me if you want. It may get entertaining, I don't know. But before I smack my head on this again, we'll put it back. And it's just simple stuff, all right? It's boring, all right? Just go eat some dinner or something and come back in a minute. That'll work. Perfect. Perfect. Well, we left you. We left you alone for a while. Hopefully you guys had a good little dinner as you came back to this video, I'm sure. Yeah, right. You guys hung out. I know you guys. You were hanging out just waiting for me to come back. Because you guys are awesome. What we're doing is boring stuff. That's why we didn't bring you along for a lot of this. Decided to take the old pod light off, which is this guy back here. Took that off from the front here. Repurposed some brackets that are meant for household construction. Had a light bar just kind of kicking around. And said, you know, let's bring some more light to this situation here as we fall into the darkness tonight. And just went out and trying to find some scrap wire I had kicking around. Make something happen, I don't know. But I figured, you know what? If we can see in front, we should see in the back. So let's go ahead and do that. And as we're blind out here and can't see nothing at all, we're just going to try and make this work. I forgot one more of these connectors. How did I do that? But what we're doing is just kind of putting some wires or some lights on this thing. I'm going to throw some wires up here real quick and hope I don't melt this thing down. It's going to be really close to reaching, but if it doesn't, we can always just shimmy across the top here for a little bit. It's temporary. I know it's not perfect. It's not the way it should be. It's not yada yada. I get it. But this is in my backyard. This doesn't belong to a customer. It's not something that we're trying to necessarily do 100% right. No, it's going to be right, though. It's going to be right as rain for what we need. And just got to connect a couple wires together and hope the thing doesn't melt down. So let me hook up this one more wire, but I'll show you what we got done so far. Actually, we don't even need the key on. But right now, you just flip this little guy here for the headlights, and whew, you can see the world. I can see the world. Got the light bar on the front, and we're hoping, just hoping, that the backlight will work without melting down the system. So I don't see why it would. We added a whole bunch of LED bulbs, which don't mean anything. And the other one of these pods is completely dead. So it had two incandescent bulbs. Incandescent. And those draw a lot more power. So I can't imagine that we're overloading. I guess we could hook up a meter to it and check all that, but we're not gonna. So I'm just gonna plug this in before it gets completely dark. That way where we can see where we're going and we can see where we've been. See? I'm not much of a guy that lives in the past.
Is that why the backlight is smaller than the front light?
Still got to remember the past because that can affect your future. So, as we wire this in, I'm not going to bore you with all that. I'm just going to hook up the wire, run a couple zip ties to hang everything, put a couple of these things back. I'm not going to bore you. We got a mess of tools laying around here. I don't know. I got more tools than I really needed to make all this happen, and just kind of, you know, I don't have stuff laying around here really, and I just kind of wanted to just slap it together and get her done. Get her done! We found out I could pick up the back of the truck. We found out that I could pick up an axle. We found out that I could do a lot of things. Drew's been over here on the bleep bloop machines looking up all the information on this, trying to figure out exactly what it's capable of and why the one thing's not doing what it's supposed to, and well, not making very much progress on that one. What did we find out about it?
Nothing yet.
You found out one piece of information that was completely useless.
Yes.
So we're finding a bunch of useless information. But we're going to put this back together, just hook up the wires. But I want to jump back on here and just let you guys know we're still working on it. We got it. We're going. Okay? We're not done. We're going to hook up some wires. Okay? But we appreciate you. I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, for liking the video, for all the comments. You guys have been amazing after the first video. And I'll tell you this right now, just so you know, as we're leaving this scene here, and it's nice and dark out here in Phoenix, Arizona, we might actually get a drip or two of rain. I smelled it, but I don't see it. So that's okay. But I want to let you guys know that I appreciate you. We really, really do appreciate you very much. And we're so grateful for everything you guys have done. Everybody's been so kind in the comments. Everybody's been so encouraging, been sharing it with all the friends, with family. Everybody's been jumping on. So I just want to say thank you for that. A heads up, we are a little bit ahead. So we're kind of jumping ahead. Drew's got to do some editing. We got to go through some videos. We're still figuring out the camera stuff. We recorded a whole bunch of stuff in slow-mo. So unless you want this for an hour, we got to scratch all that. It's got to go. We're learning. So thanks for learning along with us. But we have some video from the past. I just said don't focus on it, but don't forget it. So we do have some video from the past coming. So we're going to jump back in time. But we wanted to get something out to you guys this week and say thank you so much for all the support and the continued support as we grow. We got some cool logo stuff coming up. We got some cool swag coming up. All sorts of fun stuff. So with that being said, subscribe, like, and most importantly right now, share. We love you guys. And we'll catch you next week. See ya.